Alright guys, welcome back to another Bible study, another night. It's actually pretty late, I'm not gonna lie. Currently 1:34 in the morning. Besides the point, today we're in Matthew 5. Matthew is a really good place to learn about the Bible. It teaches us a lot of instructions on how we should live, how we should act, how we should speak to others. Just really basic instruction. It's very straightforward. It's a great place to start learning. If you've been reading and you still have some uncertainty on the daily life or what to tolerate, how to talk, how to speak, how to love, Matthew's the place to go. Matthew's chapter 5, 6, and 7 I think are the best places to kind of learn. Matthew 5:44, right? This isn't exactly specific to something that's happened recently. It definitely made me kind of think about it, Matthew 5:43 says, "You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy," right? So that's what we've heard. That's what we've interpreted. But verse 44 says, "But I tell you, love your neighbors and pray for those who persecute you." Right, so I wrote this down and I wrote, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." And I wrote a couple notes because it's really easy to read the text on paper, put it in our mind, say, all right, sounds cool, I'm gonna apply it, and go about the next day as if you never read it. I'm tired of living that way, you know what I'm saying? If the Bible says to do something, then let's do it, right? It's gonna be really tough to hear from God and really tough to experience His blessings when we're constantly, making a choice to live apart from Him, you know what I'm saying? So I wrote a couple notes because I was like, this is a big deal for me because I'm not going to say a lot of my friends, but I have a lot of people around me that low-key hate, and it's kind of evident, you know what I'm saying? You can hear it in the jokes. Once you kind of hear the same joke over and over again, it kind of makes you wonder you know what I'm saying? How funny is it? Kind of have some people like that around me. I try not to pay it a lot of attention, but at the end of the day, when I'm going home, I start to think about it, and the thing that always gets me is just I wouldn't do that to you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say that to you. Would it make you feel that way? You know what I'm saying? This is not who I am. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? There's just certain things I wouldn't say. There's certain things I wouldn't do. And it doesn't matter who's around. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? And I know how to joke, and I know there's a way to talk to people. And sometimes you got to meet people where they are, you know what I'm saying? Laugh and have a good time. But I do believe that a lot of honesty shows in jokes. I'm not blind. I'm not oblivious to that. I think a lot of people make jokes to cover up jealousy, to cover up hate, to cover up their insecurities. And they try to laugh it off because they don't, you know what I'm saying? They're not too comfortable with it without making a joke about it. Anyways, besides the point. I wrote, choose to love despite what they did. Big deal. Pray for those who hurt you. And then I wrote, do it. It's one thing to say, yeah, I'm really praying for him. Are you really praying for him? Saying when you go home, invite that person who hurt you, invite that person who said something wrong to you, invite them into your prayers and ask God to work on their heart, you know what I'm saying? Ask God to open your mind to be able to forgive them as well, And I wrote, don't say it, do it then. And then I wrote, don't forget. I don't know why I feel like this tonight, but I just want to be real, you know what I'm saying? I get tired of reading the Bible, knowing what to do, and then not doing it. Or being around people that the Bible says to not be around, and then being around them. So we're going to apply it. That's the goal for this week. We're going to apply what we're reading. So I wrote, respond with kindness, don't give in. Sometimes people just want a reaction, especially people that like to make a lot of jokes. They're just looking for you to respond to their joke poorly, and then they're going to add on top of it. Let's just cut those out. I also wrote, loving them could change their heart. Sometimes the people that are hating, or sometimes the people that don't really like you or care for you that much, are waiting for you to give in, waiting for you to have an awful reaction. Your love, you know what I'm saying, your better reaction may change their mind and change their heart. And then the last thing I wrote, you can love them and not always be around them. You don't always have to be around those people. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to not be around people that aren't helping you. It's okay to also be with people who may need a little more love. You know what I'm saying? That's okay too. But you don't have to stick around. You know what I'm saying? You can love people from a distance, and that's okay. I feel like sometimes we try to hold on to people that are obviously not helping us, that are obviously not making us better people, that are obviously pulling us further from Christ. And you can love them from a distance. The Bible says to love your enemies, right? We can love them, but we don't have to hang out with them every day. We don't have to talk to them. We don't have to Snapchat them. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to. It's a choice. But this week, let's make sure we're actually praying for those guys. See you guys next video.